So yes, thank you all for staying until here, for choosing to be here, I guess, for choosing to stay until, I can't read the clock, 6 something, to listen to my speech. But did you really choose to be here? I know at least like 3 people who didn't choose to be here. I know Sir didn't choose to be here. He's the instructor. He's forced to be here. I didn't choose to be here. I was assigned to be the speaker today. And I guess like the person assigned to evaluate me, I don't think I should name names, but like, yeah, you didn't choose to be here. If you weren't here, you'd fail. So, yeah, next slide, please. Why are we here? That is the question. The answer is that some choices were made somewhere up in the food chain, somewhere we do not control, somewhere we don't have much knowledge about, and well, now we're suffering the consequences. Suffering. But yeah, choices are tricky. Yes, choices that we have control over. Now that's tricky. When I was trying to choose the topic for this speech, at least like the direction I would go in, it was very difficult. I went through many consultations with Sir Mark regarding the direction with which to take. First, I decided to go for like a more general, broad, philosophical deal. That would be this what if. Sorry. I considered free will. Yeah. I considered the connection between free will and suffering, and how human actions, human freedom, allows for people to choose to do wrong, to choose to do harm to other people, which causes pain and suffering. So I considered exploring, what if we didn't have free will? What if we were disallowed to choose wrongly, to choose to do harm? But as I found, it doesn't work. It's way too philosophical. It's not grounded. It's like I'm up there talking down to you from like a preachy position, and that's bad, I guess. So yeah, too philosophical. Should be more grounded in real consequences. So what real consequences do human actions have? What is the most vile thing that you can think of that humans could choose to do?
Kill.
Kill, exactly. So
I was gonna say something different.
Essay.
Essay.
Yeah, of course. Taking away the liberties of other people by choosing for them, choosing to take away their choice, choosing to take away their life. So, paano kung bomba yung laman ng bag ko? Wait, kung saya ko, hindi ako engineering, so...
Oy! Oy!
Kung engineering ako, sana kayo nakaligtas, pero yun. Paano kung bomba yung laman ng bag ko? What if I just chose randomly someday to do harm, to cause mass violence, to get into the headspace of like serial killers and school shooters and suicide bombers, and well, next. And if I did that, well, I'd be painting a target on my back. Second, we wouldn't be able to upload this on YouTube. And lastly, of course, this topic requires like immense amounts of consideration and tact that I wouldn't be able to do justice because it would just be cheap shock factor. Di ba nga, yung ginawa kong patawa ngayon, natawa kayo, di ba? And so I settled on more grounded consequences, something more immediately available to all of us. I think we've all experienced this before. So, what if humanity went extinct right now? Just like that. Would the world be a better place? Because certainly it's not controversial to say that. Next slide, please. Human actions have caused significant damage to our environment. We have wrought havoc upon our world. Our actions have caused undue suffering not only to ourselves, but to the world around us, to animals, plants, the environment. Do I even need to cite proof? I have like, on my reference slides, I have graphs and I have data But just look at the weather, just look at outside even. You can see not much because it's night, but if it was morning, then you'd probably see, or no, you'd probably feel hot. I mean, if you go out of the classroom, it would be hot. That's climate change. What more evidence could you need? What is happening? Well, that's a complicated question that I would love to continue interrogating. But first and foremost, choices. Human choices have caused this to happen. It may not be all of us, but we can certainly say that choices were made and now we're suffering the consequences. In a study conducted by Holden, also Walden Kavanaugh, reflecting on the external factors that affect climate change within the Philippines, it has been said that the most pressing matter is industry and people choosing profit over the environment, choosing profit over basic human rights. Basically, down. Short-term gain over sustainability. Down. Down. Yeah. And a good example of this is the Chocolate Hills Resort. Nabalitaan niyo ba yun? Like 2024 lang. May nagtayo ng resort sa gitna ng Chocolate Hills. That's protected land. And that's the sort of issue that I have experience with, partial experience with family matters, basically dealing with the reclassification of land, using permits and whatever political tactics to convert agricultural protected land into industrial, residential, commercial, blah, 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 blah. And now we're stuck with that. Based on a study, many studies actually from 1992, I believe the first one was until 2023, the latest, and the next cycle, 2027. The IPCC, the International Panel on Climate Change, has conducted millions upon millions of studies. There are literally 8,000 pages currently. I'm not sure, but 8,000 something pages of studies worth of data related to climate change and how we have made the world worse. Basically, our industries, our choices as human beings, choosing profit, has brought the world down, and now we're digging ourselves a grave, and we're 1 foot deep in it. It's reached the point of irreversibility. And this calls for immediate and deliberate action. That's what they said in the first synthesis report in 1990, and they've been saying that every synthesis report since. There's been 6, and yet why is it still a problem? They were in 1990 they were projecting changes of upwards of 1 degree Celsius, I believe, and now in 2015 or 2018 they confirmed 1.3 degrees Celsius or 1.5 degrees Celsius. And now current projections in the latest synthesis report are saying 2 degrees Celsius. 2 degrees Celsius doesn't sound like much, but to be honest, have you seen the weather? QC, 50 degrees Celsius, right? Imagine if it was 52. Imagine in 2050 or in 2075 if it's 53, 54, or 55. Imagine if we could fry an egg outside on the sidewalk. I mean, we could probably do that now, can't we? What's the problem? Again, human choices. People choosing. But I must reiterate, not just everyone. Certain people choosing to do things for their own benefit and for the detriment of everyone else. Climate change is political. Down. Power is held by the few, and they're the ones making decisions, all of the little things. Political decisions to reclassify land, political decisions to allow investors to take over local businesses and take over local land, do whatever they want with them. Down. The world bears the brunt of the choices made by the rich and powerful. And as the many opposed the few, there's not really much we can do about it. isn't there? Down. Power shapes reality. There's this thing by BP Oil, I believe that's British Petroleum. They're saying, they popularized this thing called carbon footprint, I believe. Do you know of it? Is the term familiar? They've been running ads about how it's the people's responsibility to be more carbon free. They're pushing the blame essentially onto us. But, like, if you look at the charts, I believe it's in the references. There's a pie chart on all of the, at least like the greenhouse gas emissions. And all of it is industry. Like a small sliver of it is waste and also attributed to residential power. But like the majority of it is the fault of corporations and they're pinning the tail on our ass. And you know, with power comes desire. They want profit, they want money for God knows what reason. Next, climate change is social. Not just because it affects everyone, but because it's a social matter. I believe in a study, although it's not in my references, there is a study conducted and it says that there is a low % of people caring about climate change or even knowledge about climate change in the Philippines because there are little resources and education and information are hardly available, especially regarding this matter. I mean, like bar the presentations from last class, even in the political bits of the earlier presentations. And the environment is not really talked about. And I mean, when was the last time you heard someone talk about the environment this much? I mean, I'm going overtime because of this. Yeah, and because the Philippines is... Right. Pwede bang... Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. Just bear with me. We'll go until like 8 o'clock. Yeah, the Philippines, being a developing country that it is bears the brunt of everything that the people are doing in power, but without the resources to fight back, without the resources to help themselves. We don't have the funds to do the things that the IPCC wants us to do. In one of the synthesis reports, they say that funding is a really crucial thing because, like, you know, developing countries can put in place technologies, they can buy whatever they want to fight against climate change, carbon sinks, whatever. But the Philippines doesn't really have that. We don't even have the money to educate the people on what really matters. Or I mean, at least one of the things that matter. Lastly, climate change is personal because although it might run counter to what I said before, there is a personal factor to climate change, not in like recycling because that's well, not entirely useless, but there is a personal matter, and it is doing something, making choices that matter. What are we doing about this? Well, we is a bad term. Can we really do anything individually? I don't think so. But together, we can give power to solutions. We can ask questions. We can support people who are going for the things that we want to happen. We can support policymakers. We can support people in power that are advocating for the environment. Keep power in check. Again, asking questions, criticizing, and making choices that matter. You have the power to choose. If you don't, then I'm so sorry. But if you have the power to choose, then make use of it. Because silence is a political decision. And doing nothing when you have the power to do something is the worst possible choice. Well, this is all yours to take in. Whatever happens next, well, it's all your choice. Better make it a good one. Thank you so much for listening.